Who was St. Patrick?
He drove the snakes out of Ireland. Hello, I'm Jen.
My name's Rachel.
Welcome to our channel. We are Whisky Geeks.
Not whisky snobs.
So if you like all things whisky,
And you're not a snob.
subscribe! We are doing all Irish whiskies this month.
To celebrate St. Patrick's Day,
Yes.
aren't we? Yes, absolutely. Great, perfect. Are you a connoisseur of Irish whiskey?
I sadly am not. I would like to be though. I hope to one day be. I want to try some more.
We need to try more. It's partly because it's just not as close to us, isn't it? It's just that we don't have as much we just don't have as much Irish whiskey at all in Scotland.
No, and I guess it's not as easy to learn about because you can't just nip along the road and go round a distillery.
Definitely, yeah. We did go to Whisky Live, which was
In
good.
Dublin.
Correct,
Yeah, that was good. But we didn't visit any distilleries when we were over there.
No, we didn't. We ran out of time.
We did.
Sad.
Too busy
So we need
dramming
to
at the
go
festival.
again.
Yeah.
There's a new distillery that was being built when we were there.
There
as
are
well.
loads.
Yeah.
Loads of new distilleries in Ireland.
So as far as I'm aware, Irish whiskey is experiencing the same kind of boost that Scotch whiskey is at the moment.
Yeah. And so there are a few key differences between Scotch whisky and Irish whisky.
Mm-hmm.
So things that we're less familiar with. But we're going to try some of the more common ones
Cool.
that you find. But yeah, I would say the main key differences are that the Irish whisky tends to be made with a mixture of malted and unmalted barley, and that it's often triple distilled rather than double distilled. There's also different rules and regulations, so they don't always have to follow the same rules as we do, and so they can get other flavours in there that we won't get here.
Cool.
So if you were asked to name an Irish whisky, what would be the ones you would know and immediately say?
Jameson's.
Okay, cool. So the one that we're trying is made at the same place as Jameson's. It's owned by the same company.
Which is
Redbreast. So this is a Redbreast 12.
Nice.
So yeah, if I was asked to name some Irish whiskies that I have wanted to try for ages, would be Redbreast and Green Spot.
Yep,
Are
definitely.
the two that people always recommend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's exciting to get to try them finally.
Yep.
So this is a mixture of malted and unmalted barley, and it's been matured in American oak and Oloroso sherry casks.
Oh, cool. It does smell quite fruity. And quite light. So from triple distillation, the consequence of that is usually a lighter whiskey, isn't it?
Yeah, so the more you distill, so it's single pot distilled, the more times you distill it, the more impurities will come out of the spirit. So yeah, you'll get fewer impurities and then possibly also more wood influence from the cask. But also just, a lighter whiskey.
And so the different grains, usually what is said is grain whiskey is less complex than malt whiskey.
Yeah, in
But
Scotland, but that's not what I would say this is. It uses different grains, but it's not column distilled.
Yeah.
So it's like another entity altogether.
So it's still retaining the complexity from pot distillation as opposed to anything to do with the grain.
If anything, I think as well it's got a little bit of something else as well, because it's got the unmalted barley, which is often, like, they often say it gives a kind of biscuity characteristic.
Nice.
Like maybe a little bit fresher and grassier and kind of biscuity.
And I think now you said that biscuity is quite...
It's like a digestive biscuit.
Yeah, it's quite like a digestive biscuit in a meadow.
Yeah.
It's quite fresh and floral as well.
And quite buttery as well.
And quite buttery too. It smells great actually. I can't believe I've not
Smells lovely.
tried. I don't think I have tried Redbreast before. Maybe I have, but I don't.
I haven't.
Not
I
knowingly
definitely haven't.
anyway.
Shall we try?
Yes, Slange.
Flange. Really light.
It's not got too much at the beginning, and then in the middle it gets a lot more flavourful. And at the end it's like melon.
Oh, I got like a kind of berry flavour.
Oh really? I didn't get any berry. I'll need to
And it
go
is
back
quite,
again.
it's quite buttery.
Buttery. Wee bit. I'm getting more like orchard fruits than berries. Oh, I maybe see what you mean though.
No, it's got like a wee, there's like a wee zing in the middle.
Like a raspberry.
Yeah, like a raspberry or a red currant maybe.
Yeah.
Like a wee almost sour note.
It's quite
Well, I wonder if a sour note would come from the unmalted barley.
Maybe.
That's nice though, very light. It is 40% chill
Yep.
filtered and they use colouring.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
It's the top selling single pot distilled Irish whiskey in the world.
Wow, okay, cool. So it's like our Glenfiddich 12 in a way. Like, this is a wee intro to,
exactly.
Like, tick off.
And it's made at Middleton Distillery.
Okay, so they make Jamesons as well.
They make Jameson and lots of other ones. And
Right.
so yeah, Irish whiskey is not kind of the same as in Scotland, where we like make one, like we make this whiskey at this distillery, and then at one point there were only 2 distilleries left in Ireland, and they were making all of the Irish whiskies under different names.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, it's quite different compared with what we're used to, I think.
Region and place you come from is very important here, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas I think it's
integral.
getting more like that in Ireland, but at one point there were only 2 distilleries, and Middleton was one of them, and it's owned by Irish distillers.
Right, okay. I think actually I was reading some stuff, and I'm sure Irish whiskey's actually experienced a bigger boom than Scotch whiskey in the last couple of years.
It could have. It had more space to boom.
That's what I think. I think
Yeah.
because ours
Wasn't as
Scotch
saturated.
was still not unpopular, but it's still popular. But Irish whiskey was less popular.
Yeah.
And it's just gone like boom, so.
This to me is almost like an equivalent of like a Buna 12, I think. Like a Bunnahabhain 12. Like a little bit sherried, light.
Yep, definitely. Easy
Lighter than
drinking.
that though, but I feel like that's like the equivalent.
It's nice. It's very light, very easy drinking. Yeah. It does. It has less of a malty flavour, but it still tastes like whiskey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more buttery and light and fresh fruity.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not as deep. Cool, very interesting to try.
Yep.
So please join us if you want to try more. I think we're going to try Green Spot next.
Excited. Very excited.
So yeah, join us next time to try Green Spot with us. Slange, see you next time. Cheers. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you did, please give it a like and a subscribe. And you can follow us on social media at The Grail Tastings. See you next time. Slange.
You drove the snakes out of Ireland.
Yeah, Ireland never had any snakes.
Oh. So that's a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.